Adventures of Old Man Coyote. Chapter 5. Reddy Fox Visits Jimmy Skunk. Bobby Raccoon is afraid. Yes, sir, Bobby Raccoon is afraid. He doesn't dare go with me to look at a half-eaten chicken over in the Green Meadows. He's a coward, that's what he is. Reddy Fox muttered this to himself as he trotted away from Bobby Raccoon's big hollow tree in the green forest. Reddy was right, and he was wrong. He was right in thinking that Bobby Raccoon was afraid. Bobby was afraid, but it didn't make him a coward. You see, he couldn't see what good it would do him to go see a half-eaten chicken way out there in the Green Meadows, so far away from the trees. Bobby is like Happy Jack Squirrel. He never feels really safe unless there's a tree close at hand to climb, for Bobby's legs are not very long, and though he can run fast for a little distance, he soon gets out of breath. Then he climbs the nearest tree. But if there had been any really good reason for going, Bobby would have gone even though he was afraid, and that shows that he wasn't a coward. But Reddy Fox likes to think himself very brave and everyone else a coward. So he trotted along with his nose up in scorn because Bobby Raccoon was afraid. He was disappointed too, was Reddy Fox. You see, he had hoped to get Bobby to go with him, and when he got there that Bobby would go close to the half-eaten chicken and try to find out who had left it on the Green Meadows, and for what reason. Reddy, who is always suspicious, thought that there might be a trap, and if so, Bobby would find it. And then Reddy would know without running into any danger himself. That shows how sly he is. But as long as Bobby wouldn't go, there was nothing for Reddy to do but to try the same plan with Jimmy Skunk, and so he headed straight for Jimmy Skunk's house. Now deep down in his heart, Reddy Fox hated Jimmy Skunk, and more than once he had tried to get Jimmy into trouble. But now, as he saw Jimmy sitting on his doorstep, Reddy looked as pleasant as only Reddy can. He smiled as if Jimmy were his very best friend. "Good morning, Jimmy Skunk. I'm glad to see you," said Reddy. "I hope you are feeling well this morning." Now Jimmy had had a good breakfast of fat beetles, and he was feeling very good-natured, but he wasn't fooled by Reddy's pleasant ways. To himself he thought, "I wonder what mischief Reddy Fox is up to." But aloud he said, "Good morning, Reddy Fox. You're looking very fine and handsome this morning. Of course, no one who is as brave and big as you are is afraid of the stranger with a terrible voice who has frightened the rest of us so for the last few nights." Now, all the time he was saying this, Jimmy knew perfectly well that Reddy was afraid, and he turned his head to hide his smile, as Reddy swelled up to look very big and important, and replied, "Oh my, no, indeed, certainly not. I'm not afraid of anybody or anything. By the way, I saw some strange thing down on the Green Meadows early this morning. It was a half-eaten chicken hidden in a clump of grass and bushes. I wonder if you left it there." Jimmy Skunk picked up his ears. "No," said he, "I didn't leave it there. I haven't taken a chicken from Farmer Brown's this spring, and I haven't been up to his henhouse for more than a week. Who do you suppose could have left it there? I haven't the faintest idea unless—" Reddy looked this way and that way to make sure that they were alone. "Unless it was the stranger who had frightened everyone but me," he finished with a whisper. Jimmy picked his ears up more than ever. "Do you really suppose it could have been?" he asked. "Come down there with me and see for yourself," replied Reddy, and Jimmy said he would. Chapter 6. Jimmy Skunk Goes with Reddy Fox. Jimmy Skunk and Reddy Fox trotted along the crooked little path to the Green Meadows. Reddy was impatient and in a hurry, but Jimmy Skunk never hurries, and he didn't now. He just took his time, and Reddy Fox had to keep waiting for him. Reddy was nervous and anxious. He kept turning his head this way and that way. He looked behind every little bush and clump of grass. He cocked his sharp ears at every little sound. He sniffed every little breeze. It was plain that Reddy Fox was ill at ease. "Hurry up, Jimmy Skunk, hurry up," he urged every few minutes, and he had hard work to make his voice sound pleasant. But Jimmy Skunk didn't hurry. Indeed, it seemed as if Jimmy were slower than usual. The more impatient Reddy grew, the slower Jimmy seemed to go. And every time Reddy's back was turned, Jimmy would grin, and his sharp little eyes twinkled with mischief. You see, he knew that despite all his boasting, Reddy Fox was afraid. And because he wasn't afraid himself, Jimmy was getting a lot of fun out of watching Reddy. Once, when Reddy had stopped to look over the Green Meadows, Jimmy stole up behind him very softly and suddenly pulled Reddy's tail. Reddy sprang forward with a frightened yelp and started to run as only Reddy can. Then he heard Jimmy Skunk laughing and knew that Jimmy had played a joke on him. He stopped short and whirled around. "What are you laughing at, Jimmy Skunk?" he shouted angrily. "Oh, nothing at all," replied Jimmy, and his face was as sober as if he never had laughed and never could laugh. Reddy opened his mouth to say something ugly, but suddenly remembered that if he quarreled with Jimmy Skunk, then Jimmy wouldn't go any farther with him. So he gulped down his anger as best he could and grinned sheepishly while he waited for Jimmy to catch up with him. So at last they came to a bunch of grass and bushes in which Reddy had found a half-eaten chicken early that morning. There it lay just as Reddy had left it. Reddy stopped at a safe distance and pointed it out to Jimmy Skunk. Jimmy looked at it thoughtfully. "Who do you suppose could have brought it all the way down here on the Green Meadows?" whispered Reddy, as if afraid that someone might overhear him. Jimmy scratched his head, as if thinking very hard. "It might have been Redtail the Hawk," he said at last. "That's so. I didn't think of him," replied Reddy. "But it looks to me as if it were left there in the night. And Redtail never hunts at night because his eyes are for seeing in the daytime and not in the dark," added Jimmy Skunk. "Let's go closer, and perhaps we can tell who left it there." "Of course, that's a good idea," replied Reddy, starting forward as if he were going to walk right up to the chicken. After a few steps he stopped, as if he had a sudden thought. "I tell you what," said he, "one of us had better keep watch to see that no danger is near. I am taller than you and can see over the grass better than you can, so I'll keep a watch while you see what you can find out." Now Jimmy Skunk saw through Reddy's plan right away, but Jimmy wasn't afraid, because he isn't afraid of much of anything, so he agreed. While Reddy kept watch, he carefully made his way to the half-eaten chicken, hidden in the clump of grass and bushes. All the time he kept his eyes wide open for traps, but there were no traps. He was gone a long time, and when at last he came out, his face was very sober. "Well, was it Redtail the Hawk?" asked Reddy eagerly. "No," said Jimmy. "No, it wasn't Redtail the Hawk or Hooty the Owl. It was someone with teeth very much like yours, Reddy Fox, only bigger, and with feet very much like yours, only these were bigger too. And the chicken wasn't one of Farmer Brown's at all. It was brought from somewhere further away than Farmer Brown's. And that shows it was someone smarter than you, Reddy Fox, because whoever it was knew that if they stole a chicken from Farmer Brown, his boy and Bowser the Hound would come looking for it."